I have way too many WIPs, and today we are going to go through them and sort them out and figure out which ones I want to actually finish, which ones I can just frog and forget about, and which ones I maybe need to like tweak and change a little bit of to make me want to keep working on them. So let's go. As I was starting to make this video, I realized that I had even more WIPs than I thought I had. I thought I had like maybe 4. I was so wrong. So let's start with a super easy one, which is this granny stitch blanket. It's been sitting on our couch being used already, but I haven't woven in the ends. So I think I'm going to do that literally right now. This video is my impetus to sew these ends in, and it's going to get done. First WIP off the rank, and we're going to finish it. Let's go. Okay, that is literally first WIP, 1 WIP down. Feeling good. I don't know that this feeling will last, but so far so good. It is really just like a lap blanket size. I got a bag of these mill ends and it's quite cute yarn. I don't know if you can see. The yarn is basically just like this kind of slightly off-white yarn with little blue and red flecks through it. And I thought it was really cute, but I just had 1 ball of it, and I don't know, I think I started this one because I wanted a mindless project to work while like sitting in front of the TV, and I like doing granny stitch clusters. They are very soothing to me. If you have a favorite stitch, let me know what it is, because I don't know, granny stitch clusters, they're the best. So that's why I started that project, and now it's done. The next WIP is one that I like had completely forgotten about until I was looking through my room trying to find all of the WIPs that I had, and it is such a baby WIP. It is the start of a little star blanket that I'm using this yarn on, and I do want to finish this one. I think possibly what it could be is I've made blankets. If you've been watching some of my other videos recently, I think I mentioned this. I've made blankets for 2 of the 3 new babies in my family, and I think maybe this should be the 3rd one. So potentially I will work on this blanket in the next kind of couple of weeks because Christmas is coming. I'll show you the other blankets that I have really quickly. So yeah, 3 of my cousins had babies within 3 months of each other this year. This one is for one of them. It's just a little like pink and yellow corner to corner with a little pom-pom border. And then for the second one, the parents are like beach babe vibes. So I made this. It's kind of like, the intention was for it to be beachy, like it kind of goes from the sand here through to like the deep water. Is that the vibe you're getting? Is that the vibe we're getting? Anyway, so that is those 2. I hadn't done a 3rd one, so maybe this one, which I don't really know why I started. I think I just started it to use up this yarn. So I reckon that's what this can be. Oh, I've just pulled some of it apart. And that is why I prefer crochet to knitting, because if I do pull some of it apart, I don't need to panic. Whereas when I do that to knitting, I'm like, well, I have to start the whole thing all over again. Anyway, so that's that one. That is an unfinished WIP, but we are going to keep working on it. Next on the list, we are getting away from blankets. It is this tapestry that I started, and I did this much of it. The tapestry is like 2 cats, and it says, "I would spend all 9 lives with you." And I really love the pattern, and I really love the tapestry, and I do want to make it, but I messed up so bad in that I just like didn't choose a background color that I had anywhere near enough of, hence this little like striped situation that's going on. And like, it's kind of cute, but I think this one is going to be a frog, and I think I'm going to redo it another time with yarn that I have enough of to do actually the whole thing in one color with the little border is fine. So we're gonna frog it. Oh, it's also not that great yarn, to be honest. It's just like this weird acrylic that I got from Spotlight in a like fun pack. I don't know what I was thinking to think that this would be anywhere near enough to do it. The idea that I was going to do was like make the two cats our two cats. So I did kind of rework the colors in the pattern on the cats to like match Patty and Bango, but I think it's going to be a project for another time when I don't have so much on my plate. So we're going to frog it. I'm happy about that decision though. I think it's the right decision. Oh man, it's the right decision, except that frogging tapestry is so much more annoying because of all the color changes. I won't make you watch me painfully frog this whole thing, I swear. I am really struggling pulling it apart because it's just like not... Okay, that's so rude. I just tried so hard to frog that and it was stuck on itself. See? Like, I think just it's too bad quality, to be honest, that it's just gonna take forever to frog. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is cut my losses and just cut these off and say farewell. Next whip on the list. I know what I'm gonna do with this one. This is this like just fully scrap yarn bag that I was working on. And I didn't think about the colors at all, you know what I mean? I was just like picking up blind, putting it all together. I think it just looks silly. You know what I mean? There's no rhyme or reason to these colors. The handle strap is yuck. Basically. And I think, honestly, I had pretty much finished it except for this handle. And then I was doing like the waistcoat stitch on the handle. And I just got so bored. And when I look at it, I don't like it. So I think what I'm going to do is frog it. Again, another frog. And instead I'm going to use the colors to make a basket. Similar to this basket that I have that just sits on the ground. In the basket, I don't mind the weird colors so much because it literally just like holds my scrap yarn or holds random projects. So I think that's going to be the way to go, is instead of having a bag that I would like actually need to walk around with on my body if I were to use it, I'm going to make one of these. That's another frog, which is okay. That's okay. This one's going to be way easier to frog, which is nice because it's, I mean, I say that. Is it? It's all double-stranded. Anyway, I started this one just to like get rid of some of my scrap yarn, mostly. I don't, honestly, I'm not going to care about these colors being in this order on a basket that just like sits in my craft room. So I think I could probably afford to just wind this into a ball as it is with the double stranding if I can, and then use it as is, but to make a basket instead of one of these bags. So this will be a relief. This has been staring at me for like the better part of a year, I think. I worked on it like really consistently until I got to the straps, and then I looked at it and I was like, I think I hate it. And then I just stopped working on it. So this is a sign. If you're not vibing a whip, don't push through it. And also probably don't just leave it sitting in your craft room for like a year. I could have done this so much earlier, but now you get to come on the journey with me. Worms. This is how big the ball is from that project. But it is officially frogged, ready to be used on a new project. Let's see what we'll do with our next one. We're coming back to blankets for the next one. I have it in this bag. Does anyone else just leave projects in bags? How do you store your whips? I just end up leaving them in the project bag I have them in. So in this bag, I basically have, I have 4, maybe not quite 4, more than 4. Oh my gosh, I did so much more on this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 quite large granny squares, and what I was going to do was make this a pattern for Patty and Bango's place and just make it kind of a simple like baby blanket with like a nice border on it. Actually, I remember why I stopped this one. I stopped this one because I completely sold out of the 2 colors I was using, and I was like, well, if no one can buy the colors that I'm suggesting, like, what is the point? But I think we're at a point now where we've ordered a massive restock of all of these colors, and also people can make their own colors, like use their own colors on it. So I should just forge ahead, like it's nearly done. Let's maybe have a look at how big it would be laid out to see how many squares I need to continue it. Okay, you can really tell that I have not blocked the squares, but this is what it's looking like. So I'd need 1, 2, 3 more squares. So I guess I'd need to do 1, 2 more blue and 1 more green, and then do the border and the connection. So that's fine. Like, I can do that. Hang on, let me show you how big it is when it's with 4. So originally I was just gonna do 4 squares, but I don't think it's quite big enough even for like a baby blanket, to be honest, unless they're really newborn, because that, I don't know if this helps for scale. Yeah, I think I need to make it a 9 square blanket. That's those. As you can see from those last videos, I think it does need to be a bigger blanket. I was hoping I could get away with like a 4 square one, but I don't think I can unless I made the squares a lot bigger. I don't know. I think I'll forge on with this, but it's not going to be a priority for me, especially not before Christmas. This might be something that I get done and hope to get done in time for our restock, which will be like the end of January probably at this stage. So I will work on this one later, but I will keep it. That's a keep. I think my first blanket priority is the star blanket so that I can gift it for Christmas, and then that will be the next time I'm ready to face a blanket. Let's get on to the box of WIPs. Some of these things honestly are totally easy to just finish. For example, I have this little dragon from Mama Made Minis, and literally all I need to do is embroider the eyes onto it. Also, does this look like a dragon to you? Is it, if you saw this, would you be like, that's a dragon? Because my husband was like, what is that? Actually, the first thing he did was ask me if I had written the pattern. I said, no, I didn't. And he's like, okay, then I have no idea what it is. I think if I'd written the pattern, he would have been really nice about it. However, I think he's wrong. I think it is very clearly a dragon. It has the little nose things. It has wings. It has spikes on the tail. Is it just him? Can we tell him that this looks like a dragon, please? Maybe it needs the eyes. So that one I'll definitely do. I'm gonna, in fact, again, let's just finish it now. Let us put some embroidered eyes on this bad boy and we'll finish another WIP. Let's go. Okay, he has eyes. Done. Another WIP finished. Back to the box. The other thing I have in here is this bunny, which looks done, right? I thought so too, until I realized I had forgotten to give it a tail. So I literally just need to make a tail for this little buddy. It is a really cute pattern. I really enjoyed making it, and this yarn is really adorable. It's like a little candy, cotton candy bunny. Look at it. Anyway, I do really want to finish this. It's literally just a tail that I then need to sew on. I just need to like pull my finger out and do it. But I'm not going to do it right now. So that will be one that I keep and finish, and I will try and finish it before my next market, which is next March. No, I will finish it this year. I will do it. It's been sitting here for months and months and months. Like, longer than I would care to admit, this has been sitting in this poor little box, languishing, waiting for its little bunny tail. And then once I do that, I can put it up for sale because I think it's really cute, and I think People should want it to cuddle it. Look at its little chubby tummy. It deserves to be finished. It will be finished. It'll happen. For something different in this box, I have, don't laugh, it is a knitted toy, and can you guess what it is meant to be based on this? It's meant to be a monkey. It's meant to be a monkey. Knitting just takes me so much longer, but I feel bad because it's from a book that my husband bought me for like knitted animals. And it is cute, like the finished product is cute. I think I'm just not as confident in my knitting skills, and so I got this far into it and then I just sort of stopped. Like I still have a whole head to go, a whole leg to go, plus another leg. This is meant to be its little hand, and I don't think I'm not good because I haven't practiced at changing colors in knitting. It gets lumpy. I'm not as good at holding my floats across, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I think if I'm being realistic, I'm not gonna finish it. It's been sitting here since 2 Christmases ago. So that's like nearly 2 years that I've had it almost finished, and I think the reality is I'm just not going to finish it. But I feel bad. This is the problem, is that I feel guilty about things. Also, I don't know if I'm doing decreases wrong, but like this seems wrong, you know? It just looks a bit messy and derpy, and I'm not sure what I would do with it. But potentially I could give it to my mum to finish because she likes knitting. Maybe I'll ask her if she wants to finish it. Maybe I can pass on my project to her and see. So that's in the question mark pile. That's our first question mark WIP, or I'm procrastinating making a decision on it, which is not the point of this video, but I think of all the WIPs we've got, if I only do it to one, that's all right. That's not bad. That's okay, right? Back me up, please. Please leave a comment of support or tell me what to do with it. All right. Final WIP, I think. Final WIP that I know of that I was able to find. This one was my most recent travel project, and I've really enjoyed working on it. I have, but it's meant to be a shirt, and it's like way, this is just the back panel of it, and it's just way too wide. I did my measurements wrong. I don't know what happened. Like I did a gauge swatch and the gauge was right, and I did the measure, hang on. It's a Made in the Moment pattern by Aspen, and their patterns are all, well, I don't know about all, but this pattern in particular is made to measure. So I did my gauge swatch, I did my measurements, I calculated it based on the gauge swatch and the measurements, and I think I got my measurements wrong, to be honest. So I am going to frog this. However, I am also going to remake it, and it is going to be, I really want to wear it. It is the basic button-up pattern. I think it's like a nice staple piece to have in a wardrobe, especially because like I don't have that many crochet wearables that I actually wear and want to wear, and I think this would be one if I can get the sizing right. So I am going to frog it with the intention of remaking it. So that's what's going to happen with that one. We're going to wind it back, and because it is my own yarn, it is Bango's Blend in Atmosphere. I know that it's going to frog really easily, which is nice because it's just smooth yarn, unlike the other couple of things I've tried to frog in this video, which were not as simple. So we're going to wind that back into balls. Okay, that is frogged back into 2 little cakes of yarn. Altogether, quite a productive little run through of WIPs. We had 2 that we finished, the blanket and the dragon. We have 3 that we frogged, or I will frog. And we had 2 that we are going to finish, the bunny and the blanket made out of Moo Moo's Milk Cotton. And we have 1 that we don't know what we're gonna do with yet. But that's a pretty good strike rate. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm also really glad just to kind of know what I'm doing with all these WIPs. I'm glad to have found a couple that I had completely forgotten about. Definitely that scrap yarn bag had just been sitting in the corner for a long time. I hadn't forgotten about it, but like I was definitely just ignoring it. And the star blanket, which I'll now finish for a gift, was definitely completely forgotten about. It was in a very small little bag in the corner of a room, so hopefully I did actually find all of my WIPs. Technically, I suppose I do still have this little WIP that I was making yesterday. I have one round left to go on it. It is an itty bitty kitty. That one will definitely get finished this morning, so that's fine. I'm not really counting that. These were more like the long-term WIPs that I had sitting in my craft room / office, so very excited to have those finished. Thank you for coming on the journey. Thank you in advance for letting me know what to do with that monkey, knitted monkey. Should I ask my mum if she wants to finish it for me? I do have the pattern book I can give her. Anyway, let me know how many WIPs you've got in your WIP basket so that I can feel a little bit better about mine. Feel like we're all in this together. If this has encouraged you to get a handle on your WIPs, please let me know. If you like this video, please give it a like and leave a comment, which helps YouTube know that the videos are good and it gets more people into our fun little crafty crochet community here. If you want more crochet content, please feel free to also subscribe to the channel. I have a whole bunch of videos that you can check out if you want, if you're into that kind of thing. If you've made it this far in the video, maybe you are. And with that, I will leave you until the next video. Thanks so much for hanging out. Bye!